In this video I wanted to show this many switches box. This is something that people have been building for a long time to keep their kids entertained. My brother has a new baby boy that I'm sure likes buttons. So this is my take on that box. It's got lights, it's got buttons, it's got sounds. So there you go. So we'll turn it on here. First thing it does is a little LED test just to make sure that they all work. I've got the sound switch off, so that's why it says sleep mode activated. It says another random sound every time you turn audio off. By default, when you put the key in and you turn on, it's going to do construction mode, which it's got the idling, the truck starting and the idling truck. You can select between two modes of operation. There's construction and then there's outer space sounds. And some of the sounds, or some of the buttons rather, just do sounds and lights. Some just do lights. There's an ambulance. You get the idea. It also has a feature that if you tilt it,
hey, please put me down.
It says random things from the Portal game. Turning it off. Let's turn this off so I can show you the back. Basically, it's just a bunch of switches wired up. I'm using the Arduino input pull-up, so I don't spend a lot of money on resistors. All the LEDs, of course, have their own resistor. 9-volt battery powered. Not sure how long that's going to last, but hopefully it'll provide hours of enjoyment. There's a speaker here. This is the MP3 player module. I'm not sure if you can see, but there's basically a mini SD card in there. And there's a library out there for Arduino for this MP3 player module. It's called DFPlayer Mini. And you just put your MP3 files in a folder, and then you can either access them directly or you can randomize that kind of thing. I'm using these PCBs I found on Amazon that are basically perfect lineup holes for all the Arduino pin headers. I like putting all my stuff in headers so that if this Arduino board ever had to be replaced or something like that, I could get it out easily without having to unsolder the whole thing. Same thing I did for the back. I made my own kind of multi-pin header to get that in there. What else? Should be pretty durable. I don't think this is going anywhere. I've got some extra wires here in the corner if I want to add some other buttons or switches on the side later. The cool thing about it being Arduino is, obviously you can modify the code to do whatever you want. Maybe when the kid gets older, he can hack it. You could turn it into like a USB or a human interface device or a keyboard emulator, and then attach this to the computer. And now you've got, cool buttons for whatever the latest game is. A lot of these switches were automotive switches, like these have LEDs in them, and these have LEDs in them. I couldn't get the resistor out of there without destroying the switch. So they were all designed for 12-volt operation, and I didn't really want to run this thing on 12 volts. It ate down a 9-volt battery really quick. So these lights don't do anything, nor do the lights in here, but it's a colorful switch nonetheless. These LEDs I'll program to do different things. Probably when there's the ambulance, I'll have it cycle red, blue, or something like that. There's a twisty knob here. That one's fun. 2 push buttons. And then I've got a clear cover for the back of this too, so that he can look in and see how this whole thing works. I'll post the code online for this. If you want to build your own, I'd encourage you to. It's kind of a lot of fun. A lot of these buttons and things were either stuff I just had in the drawer or I took out of something. I think these switches I bought on Amazon. I didn't have those sitting around. But yeah, it turned out pretty nice.